Hey, welcome back to the Club Junkie podcast. Hopefully, you're having a good week. I'm back and back from men's weekend, guys' weekend. We had a great golf time. Before we get into today's episode, talking about what happened, I just want to let you know this episode is brought to you by Titleist and the brand new GT Woods. In a pursuit of speed and playable distance, Titleist engineers develop a new material construction that unlocks the next generation of driving excellence. The new GT Driver series represents the biggest technological leap ever in Titleist driver design. Inside the head is new split mass construction, positions weight both forward and back to optimize speed, launch angle, and spin to the specific player's needs for each GT driver model. For me, it was GT2. I needed a little bit more forgiveness, a little bit of spin, a little bit of launch. And from the outside, GT drivers feature a stunning seamless thermoform crown, presenting a classic, confident package that feels as good as it looks. And it's also cool that the GT3, GT2, you almost can't tell them apart. They look almost identical from address, which is pretty awesome. And the GT's new crown construction also introduces a proprietary matrixed polymer never before used in golf. This ultra-lightweight material offers a versatile performance of a composite while delivering Titleist's signature sound and feel. Experience a new class of drivers with Titleist GT. To learn more about each GT model and finding a fitting event near you, visit Titleist.com. So we're back. We had guys' weekend. It was a good one. It was fun. We had a good time. Again, if you don't know, if you didn't listen to last week's show, we had 16 guys. We've had 16 guys for the past six years that we go somewhere in northern Michigan every year and play golf. It's a little competition. We start off early in the year with the draft. So we draft players to each team, and then once we get the draft going, we pick some team shirts. So we have some team gear for each team, and then do some matchups, and then we go play. And we get up to like I said, northern Michigan. And this year we went to Lakewood Shores over in Oscoda. I'm not gonna lie, just to go there, I would not recommend it. The place has kind of lost some of its luster. I think it was like a top 100 course in 1992. It is no longer 1992, and it is no longer top 100. There was one course called the Gales. Was a top 100 course, but yeah, definitely not anymore. It is definitely got some issues there. They've got some green issues on Blackshire. There's a bunch of greens that have, I guess, a disease, something like that. I'm not a turf person, so I don't know exactly what it is, but definitely a bunch of greens that just had a bunch of like spots on them that were just bumpy, and the grass was gone. And when you go on the Gales, the signature course, they had the fairways were just kind of the same thing. It was like you had patches of grass and then patches of kind of like brown grass and dirt, and there was a little bit of crabgrass in there. It was just it was overall in kind of rough shape. Cerradella, I would say their kind of lowest of the three courses, was in the best shape. It was actually really good. I think it had like one green or two greens that had a little spot on the outside or something like that. But overall, Lakewood Shores not an amazing place. When I went there 9 years ago, definitely in much better condition. The Gales was far nicer. The bunkers were just all like they're gone. I mean, like some of the bunkers, they just have grass growing in them. They're just waste bunkers now. And then the other bunkers at like Blackshire, Cerradella, they just have tons of rocks. Like they're literally gravel pits. There were more than one guy who walked away with a little ding and a wedge. So if you're planning on going somewhere, I would not recommend Lakewood Shores being the place, unless you're looking for something inexpensive to go and just play with your buddies. Then fine, it is what it is. The accommodations are fine. The little condos, the hotel rooms, they're fine. They're outdated, but they're good. I do want to say the amenities in terms of beverage cart and on-site food from like the restaurant and stuff. Again, not really good. They had a cart girl drove around, but the cart basically had two coolers on it, and that was it. It wasn't like a true beverage cart. It had like two coolers on it and somebody driving it, and then and then it only came around every once in a while, and it was hot those days, so getting something to drink, they frequently didn't have anything but alcohol or something like that. So that was kind of a bummer. And then we had after our Saturday round, because we play 18 on Thursday, it was a little warm up, and then 36, 36, 18, and on Saturday we had like a really early tee time. Went off at 7 at Cerradella, got done really early. Got done in 4 hours. We were really quick, and we had like 2.5 hours before tee time in the afternoon. So we went in and said, hey, they have a little like kind of restaurant area there. Let's just sit down, all of us, go get lunch and hang out. Yeah, no, their restaurant isn't open. They don't. I guess it's used for breakfast. I don't even think it's used for dinner. All they had was a little station that you could get a hot dog, a brat, or a hamburger, and then pop juice, pop beer or whatever. I mean, they had all this stuff. And we have one guy in the group who hasn't he doesn't eat red meat. He hasn't eaten red meat in, I don't know, forever, almost high school time. And they literally did not have anything for him to eat. Zero, like a bag of chips. That would be it. So it was a little bit of a bummer there in terms of that kind of stuff. We made the best of it. We still had a whole lot of fun. We went out and played and still had a little competition, but there's some bummers there for the actual resort. Like I said, the actual sleeping accommodations, all that were fine. But yeah, the food and beverage stuff and all that definitely let go, and the course itself definitely needed some maintenance. I think we had numerous people in carts that either barely made it through 18 or needed to be replaced. I think there was almost one around where somebody needed a cart replaced. Maybe the round at Saradella, not so much, but yeah, but it was fun. We had a good time. So 16 guys got drafted. We're 8-8, and yeah, I was on the team kind of USA. We're kind of the red, white, and blue theme. The other team was orange themed. But we went up there and had a good time. So, and on each day, we got out there and played. So how we set it up is, we have eight guys in eight guys in each team, and we basically play 9-hole matches. So 9-hole. Like the first day was modified alternate shot on the front 9, and then 2-man scramble on the back 9. And then for the second 18 later in the afternoon, basically we did a shamble, 2-man shamble, and then a 2-man best ball. So basically playing 4 different matches on 2 different 18s. And so, yeah, we kind of mix it up like that. We don't use handicaps. We try to just match up players the best we can. And then in some of the matchups, there's some sacrificial lambs, and some matchups, some matchups are stronger than others, but that's up to the 2 captains to excuse me, 2 captains to kind of figure out and decide what they want to do. And so far it's really worked. Last year I was a captain. We were fortunate enough to win. We've pretty much always had matchups where Sunday hasn't mattered. The Sunday matches, it would take like a miracle, like out of 8 matches you'd have. So on Sunday we play match play, 2-man match play, and one of those things where you have to win like 6 of the 8 matches by like 3 points or more or something like that. It's really hard to do. Usually Sundays it's been pretty much over. This year was the closest by far. We basically, out of 480 points total for all the matches, both 2-man and singles, so 480 points. We lost. We lost by 3. So 237 was my team. I wasn't the captain this year, but the team I was on, 237 to 243. We lost by 6. So on the first day, we were actually up 17. We were up 88.5 to 71.5. And the next day, the other team kind of came back, and we were down 6. So we were down 157 to 163. And then day 3, we actually tied, halved all the matches. People won, people lost, but at the end of the day, the team I was on scored 80 points. The other team scored 80 points, and we lost by 6. So really crazy. It was pretty fun though. It was awesome to be that close. We haven't had one that close ever. Seriously, we've never had one that close, and so it was cool. Sunday really mattered. So for me, I went 3-2 for the weekend. 3-2 with one closest to the pin win, and I unfortunately lost my singles match. But I lost it by 3. But that is what it is. So the first match, myself and my buddy Larry, we won 11-9. And what we do is we basically played. They're basically 20-point matches. So I'm sorry, 10 points for the front 9, 10 points for the back, because you get 1 point per hole. 1 point if you win it, half a point if you split it, 0 points if you lose it, and then at the end, whoever wins the most points gets an extra bonus point on the front 9 and then the back 9. So there's 20 points total on each match for 18 holes, and then singles is the same way. But But it was good. We had the two-man matches, and then my singles match. Mr. Eddie Jones took me down. He he basically played much better than I did. Neither one of us played well at all. The Sunday round was a real struggle. I mean, after you play 18, 36, 36, 18, a lot of guys are just really gassed. Um, and I actually honestly felt really good that day. My back, I wasn't stiff. I wasn't hurting anything like that. I didn't feel tired or anything like that. I just played really poorly, and Eddie played less poorly than me. So I lost that match. What was it? 8.5, 9, 8.5, 11.5. We pushed the front nine. We tied, and then on the back nine, I just fell apart. And while Eddie didn't play well, he played good enough to beat me. So hats off to him. We are. I don't know what our record together is. We haven't played too many individual matches, but I lost to him. So we unfortunately lost. Like I said, 237 to 243, but it was super close, and we all had a really good time. So it was fun. So I brought the bags down, as you know. Last episode, I did both golf bags, and what went really well. I would say both drivers. Neither one was great. And I'm not going to say the drivers weren't. I was terrible driver swing wise with both drivers. I had little kind of glimpses here and there with each one where it's like I'd figure it out and hit a good drive or two, and then it would just get back to me hitting big old hooks. I just didn't hit driver at all by Sunday. The back nine, I put driver away and just hit 3-wood off the off the tee, and that worked for a little bit. And then even that started to go away to the end of that round. So just driver everything off the tee for the most part. On Sunday was a struggle. The other 2 days, though, I mean, I did hit the ball fairly decent off the tee. I do say though, what is it? The one I think it was the Saturday. Was it Saturday morning? I hit the ball really well off the tee. Actually, we actually did one round where we moved everybody up to the red tees. He played the most forward tees, just to give people some birdies and all that. And I tell you what, I drove it really well. Put it right in front of some greens. Hit a bunch of fairways, and I was able to kind of control the hook a little bit. But I mean, the GT2 was really good. When I hit it well, it was long, it was straight, all that. It had less of a little less draw to it than my TSR two did. But I just, like I said, it was just a driver was pretty much a nightmare for me. So and then 3-wood started off again. TaylorMade QI10 was the driver with that UST Link Blue. And I just hit a lot of shots off. And again, this is all swing related, but hit a lot of shots off the heel. So I actually threw the GT2 16.5 degree head with the graphite design CQ in it. I threw that in midway through, so I think it was it for Saturday morning? I think I might have thrown it in, and I tell you what, I hit that really well for the most part all day until the end of Sunday when I was using it as my driver. I hit it really well. That thing there is really long for a 16.5 degree head. Now it is set one down and flat, so it is 0.7. I think it's set at C1, so it is 0.75 down. So it's like 15.5 degrees or 15 3/4, and a little bit flat. But I tell you what, I hit that thing really well off the deck. I hit it off the tee. I was really hitting it well. Like I said, off the deck especially. I hit on the Gales course a couple of par fives that were a little bit longer and really played into the wind. Hit that thing off the deck there. Was able to hit high. It went a long ways. I mean, it was holes into the wind. I was probably hitting that thing, almost, I wouldn't say driver length, but I mean, I was hitting some good shots down there. Had some of the 260-ish type things and landed balls in front of the right in front of the green. So for me, that's big in terms of 3-woods. I hit that really well, and like I said, off the tee, I hit it really solid also for most of the round. So that definitely made the jump from the backup bag. If I had to say driver, which one between the QI10 and the GT2? I mean, they both. I guess the QI10 had a couple more bright little streaks than the GT2 did, but neither one was anything I hit well. I mean, I hit both unfortunately pretty poorly. So 3-wood, I would say GT2 took the lead for sure. Driver split decision in terms of what I would go with if I had to play another round on Monday or something like that. The 7-wood, the Ping G430, it left me. I was hitting it so far left. Hit it off the tee on a couple shots, just hit it way left. Same thing off the deck a few times. Moved into I put the Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke Triple Diamond in there. Definitely went a little bit straighter. You can definitely tell there's a little less draw bias to that club. It's, again, great ball speed on it and everything. And honestly, I didn't notice it. It's definitely less forgiving. I didn't notice it as much playing that day, just because I was hitting everything kind of left. But I did make the switch there, and definitely found a little bit more success with the Paradigm. But I didn't hit 7 wheel a ton. I mean, it was really I hit it off the tee a couple times, and there was like maybe off the deck one time for each that I was at that distance, like that 215, 210 area off the deck. I just never really had that shot. I either had 200 or 195, or I had way more, three wood style, 250 ish, something like that. So I never really had that distance. There was a couple holes on the Gales that you kind of laid up to like that 210ish range. So one of the bright spots, though, I do have to say is was hybrid. That PXG Black Ops 22 degree, the 4 hybrid to my 4-iron replacement, was one of the few bright spots. I hit that thing really well all day or all weekend. I hit it off the deck, hit it off the tee, and it didn't matter. I hit that thing really, really solid all weekend with that Graphite Design VF shaft. It was just like one of those things where, for whatever reason, that one I hit good. I hit it off the tee a handful of times. There wasn't a ton of shots off the deck with it, but the couple I did hit really well. It was a one club that I think I don't hit anything. I think maybe like one shot fairly left, kind of hooked one big. But the rest of it, I hit that thing really solid. So that was the one club that like was not going anywhere. It stayed in the bag the whole time. Really did well. that hybrid really was solid. Never had to go to the PXG Gen 7 irons to replace that. So 4 hybrid was one of the big bright spots. And then irons, the TaylorMade P770s were really, really good. I brought 5-through pitching wedge in those. Those are the new 2024 ones. Hit them really well. I mean, I really did for the most part. Hit them really solid. Off the tee, I actually drew them like kind of a little bit more, but off the deck, I actually hit them really well. And have just have nothing but good things to say about them so far. They held the greens well. Some of the greens were they were definitely a little softer. It had rained like on like Thursday night or something like that, so they were a little bit softer. But even the firm greens, like the Gales, it held up really well. There's some that they're definitely forgiving. They're definitely a little bit longer. Like I said, I think they're about a half club longer than my T150s. And yeah, overall, I mean, just between distance and forgiveness, I hit them really well. Turf interaction was really good. They didn't dig. I think my T150s get through the turf just a little bit faster. I think the leading edge on these P770s is a touch sharper, but overall, I love the look, and they look really good. I thought they performed solid. So feel on them is good. They're pretty soft. They're a hair firmer than like say a true forged kind of cavity back iron. They're maybe a little bit firmer than that, having just a slight more click, but overall performance wise, I can't complain. Those things played really, really solid for the most part all weekend. I ended up switching them out on Sunday just because I felt like I needed a little more help, and I was like, I'm going to put the Gen 7s in for Sunday. Just put something really forgiving in there. Hopefully, I can get around the course. And I hit those. Again, I'm not blaming the clubs. It's me, but just swung terribly and hit those awful. I either hit them fat or hit them thin basically all day. I think I hit 2 greens on regulation on Sunday. So, but the P770s were really, really good. I was really happy with those, and really impressed with how well I played with those. Wedges, again, really good. There's one thing I didn't switch out. Actually, my wedge game, my putting probably saved me for the most part from getting smoked on Sunday. I'm pretty sure if I didn't chip and putt so well, Eddie would have absolutely murdered me. I would have lost by way more than 3, but I chipped and putted pretty well because I didn't hit any greens. So that kind of made up for it. And I made some bogeys, made a par here and there, and made some doubles, but that kept me in it for the most part. So the Vokey SM10 stayed in the whole time, the 50.12 and the 56.14, those stayed in the bag the whole time. So we're good to go with those. And then the 68 grind too. I mean, I hit that really well. Ended up being a solid club. I didn't have any problems with it. It worked really, really well. So that was really good. And then putter was definitely interesting. We definitely had we made a putter's change, but before I tell you that, Just want to let you know, hey, Olakai Golf, they've got a new shoe called the McKenna. It's the next generation of shoes for Olakai Golf. It's got an outsole that's plated for maximum traction and actually has spikes that are inspired by the waves of Hawaii. It's a fully waterproof design, so whether you're playing in the morning with the dew or you get caught in a rainstorm, your feet are going to stay dry no matter what the conditions. These things are tested on some of the best golf courses in Hawaii, so you know they're going to work for your game wherever you play. On the bottom, good walk is emblemized on the outsole for that famous quote, golf is a good walk spoiled. And look, we believe in walking, so these are designed to keep you comfortable and keep you dry well beyond 18 holes. So you can get that emergency 9 and play that extra couple holes to make sure that you win your match, anything like that. But if you go to olakai.com, check out the new McKenna golf shoe. It's a really phenomenal golf shoe out there for anybody who loves to walk, anybody who loves to ride, just golfers in general. So go to olakai.com, check out the McKenna golf shoe. So I hit the putter, and putter is was interesting. So I walked off the first day. So Thursday, Friday, putted really well. I putted really well with the Spider, the Tour X Proto. I made about, I didn't make any crazy putts, but I wasn't three putting. I was making, two putting everything, coming really close. For playing greens, I haven't played in 9 years or anything like that, and no idea what the breaks are and stuff like that. I putted really well. That worked really well. And then all of a sudden, on like Saturday, we were playing in the morning and the match play there, and I had a couple like little yips on like the alternate shot, where all of a sudden my right hand would kind of just push the putter, and I would miss the putt left, and I missed like a 2-footer straight putt. I missed another one that was maybe just a little bit longer, but I should have made. It was dead straight. And I just noticed that I was kind of doing this. And I had the ball lined up well. I think I read the putts all right. I just literally shut the face in impact. So on Saturday morning after that, I took that out, put the Mez 1 Max in, and I putted it really, really well. I putted really well the rest of the time. I made a few decent putts. I know I made on the match play on Sunday, the first hole, I came up short on my iron shot, and Eddie was already on the green. I made a pretty long uphill putt to tie the hole to kind of keep that level. But in the afternoon on Saturday, same thing. I made a few decently long putts. I had a putt kind of a downhill, probably 10-footer that I made to kind of win a hole for a point. I mean, it was just the Mez one was just because I basically sat there and put it in my hands, and I basically made myself like grip it really lightly and just let the putter do the work. So that worked really well there, and I putted really, really with the Mez 1 Max. So it's kind of making me think: do I need to play that thing a little bit more? I mean, I really do love the Spider Tour X, the Spider Tour X Proto. It's really just a great putter, but the Mez 1 Max was definitely the kind of the go-to there. So. It was really solid. That kind of saved my rear the next 2 days and got me a few points. So I would say the ending day, if I was basically had to put the bag of what played best together, at the top, I'm splitting hairs. I guess at the end of the day, I hit the QI10 a little bit better, so I'd probably play with QI10 with that graphite design shaft in it that is coming a little bit later. I would probably play that. 3 would be GT2. Titleist GT2 with the Graphite Design Tour AD CQ 7S. That would definitely be in the bag. I hit that so much. It's just so solid all weekend. That was one that I didn't hit a ton of 3 woods, but I mean, it was then, moved to the tee, and I hit it off the tee decent for a little bit. So 3 would be that. 7 wood, the way it went that weekend coming out of it, the Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke Triple Diamond would be the winner there. I just with the Fujikura Ventus TR Blue 8 stiff. That would be the one that came out ahead. I just hit it straighter. I flat out hit it straighter. Ping went a little higher, but I hit the Paradigm straighter. It kept it in place, so that would go there. And then 4 hybrid, the PXG Black Ops 22 degree with the Graphite Design Tour AD VF 85 stiff. That was solid. It didn't move out of the starting lineup. It was good. For irons, again, like I said, I played the Gen 7s on Sunday, and I just didn't swing well. And I hit them all fat and hit them thin and just hit them all over the place. So I'd say the P770s keep the starting job there, the 5-3 pitching wedge, and those had the True Temper Dynamic Gold, mid 115s and stiff. And then for wedges, I never actually even pulled the Sugar Daddy 3s out of there or the Ping S159. I hit all the wedges really well, so I would keep those in the bag. The Vokey 50.12F, the 56.14F, and the Vokey Wedgeworks 60A plus grind. So the first two have Modus Tour 105s, and then the Wedgeworks A plus, or the 60A plus grind has a True Temper Dynamic Gold. It's like an S200. It's the stock Vokey shaft. And then putter, I'm going to go with the Lab Mez 1 Max. I mean, like I said, it saved me from getting crushed on Sunday, and it scored me a few points Saturday afternoon. So I would stick that there. And then ball wise, yeah, I mean the Pro V1X and using the lines on them has been a big thing. So I use the lines for the most part all weekend, and putting was probably one of the strongest things I had going on. So. Yeah, that would be the kind of the MVPs of the bag there. And yeah, like I said, we unfortunately lost by 6 points, but we still had a good time. It was a whole lot of fun. Congratulations to our other team. They went out and they beat us by a couple. So we'll have another run at it next year, and it's okay. But yeah, it was a whole lot of fun, and we got it done. So it's sad because it goes too fast. We got there, started playing all that, and now it's done. And now we got to wait, another year to start it all up again. But before we know it, the draft will be here, and it'll be a whole lot of fun. So that is kind of the what's in the bag and everything from the the Sragwa 2024 edition. It was a whole lot of fun. I'm gonna miss I miss it already, and I want to go back. So. Anyway, that's all I've got this week. Hopefully, you guys have a great week. If you're not following me, please follow me on Instagram at Club Junkie Pod. If you want to watch this thing on YouTube, as you can, look at my hotel room that I'm sitting in this time. If you just search Club Junkie or Golf the Beards Radio, you can find us there. And yeah, hopefully, you guys have a good week. Remember, GT2 Series, just a brand new evolution in Titleist Woods. Go to Titleist.com. Check out the new GTR Series Woods. So, anyway, we'll have a good one, and we'll talk next week.